Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are jumping into favorites and flops for the month of February. This is a series that I used to do every single month, no exceptions, no questions, and I feel like I haven't done one since like October. I did a favorites at the end of the year in December, but like that doesn't really count. And as I pulled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 products I wanted to talk about today, I realized that the theme is everything is like super luminous and glowy and dewy. Like I feel like my skin is so luminous right now. And this is basically everything I've been using. I mean, I'm going to pull one more for honorable mention. But like, I'm really excited to jump into my favorites, and I hope you are too. If that's something you're into, make sure to keep on watching, and don't forget to subscribe because I upload every other day, and that'll be the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. So if you want to jump into my favorites and flops for the month, stay tuned. All right, so I am going to be honest that I only have favorites this month because I really haven't tried too much. All of the things that I've been trying and playing with, I've been really fortunate that I've enjoyed. As you know, I always have flops. There's plenty of products I don't like, but this month, there's really none that I have to talk about. So we're going to jump into my favorites for the month. The first being, I think, the one that is responsible for like most of today's glow. This is the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. This I got in a BoxyCharm like, I want to say over a year ago, and I used it once and then it kind of fell in the back of my collection, and I went through and I purged so much over the weekend, and I was just getting rid of stuff, and I had pulled this out and like, I want to play with it. And then I used it 3 days in a row and it was perfect. Like, I am so upset that I haven't been giving this the love it deserves. This is going to be, one little pump right there. You can already see how luminous that is. But once you blend that in, you just get the most illuminated, hydraty. It's not like glittery, but it's super shimmery, if that makes sense. So like my skin, even up close, it doesn't look like it's got sparkle everywhere, but we're definitely getting that like supple, golden, juicy, glowy skin. I did layer that over 2 skincare products that I'm going to mention today. The first being, this is from JLo Beauty. This is the JLo Glow Serum. Now, this is basically a hydrating, dewy, glowy serum. Nice and simple. I'm actually going to layer that right on top because it just adds this sheen that I think sits beautifully on the skin. I've layered this on top of my other skincare. I've used it as a primer. I've sandwiched it between moisturizer. And I do think it just gives me this ethereal glow from within. I will say, looking at the ingredients, it's very oil heavy. So as far as like a skincare product, I don't know if I would like make this as a recommendation for like, oh my God, you need this as a skincare product. But as a layer underneath your makeup, like these two and one other product created like the perfect luminous base. Like we're already 2 products in and I'm about to add the third. The third product is probably the star of the show from Luminosity. This is from Bloom Effects. This is the Tulip Dew Vitamins and Mineral Broad Spectrum SPF 50. You know SPF is not optional, but this has, I'm going to take 1 pump. It has a tiny bit of a color to it, but it doesn't actually like have a pigment to it. So like as you'll see as I start to blend it in, it just kind of glows. I have been using this on days I'm wearing makeup and on days that I'm not, and it is so radiant and luminous, and it is absolutely stunning. It's one of those products where I looked at it and I was like, you know what, this looks pretty. I have to try it out. And ever since I've started using it, like even on the days I'm not wearing makeup, it gives me this beautiful ethereal glow. I love the Bloom Effects Tulip Nectar. I've been talking about that on my channel for years. Like, sound off if you remember me talking about the Tulip Nectar. I think I had 5 backups at one point. I was that obsessed. This is like, this combo of these 3 products is a game changer. Now, this is not sponsored, but Bloom Effects actually did give me a discount code. So you can use the code Brett on their site for 25% off. This is so good. Like, do not sleep on this SPF. Just look at my skin. I feel like I'm glowing in all the right places. All right, the next product is from Huda Beauty. This is the Faux Filter Concealer. I'm wearing it in the shade Vanilla Swirl 3.1. This is is marketed as a luminous matte finish, and I think that that is the best way to like talk about it. I don't have creasing going on in my under eyes. Like obviously I have these two lines. Makeup is going to settle into lines. There's no way around that. Anybody who says that like you can smooth that over without using a shit ton of silicones is lying to you. And makeup is pigment. If you paint over a crack in the wall, you're gonna see the crack in the wall. When I talk about creasing, if I am to kind of like move that crease, do I see a line where the makeup is settling? The answer is no. So yes, you're gonna see the line because there is a fold to my skin there. But as far as like, is the makeup creasing in there? No, it is not. I think this is a beautiful coverage. I think it's a beautiful finish. I think the color match is perfect. And if you remember, I used to play around with the thicker version of the Huda concealer, and it was so thick, it worked as an eye base, and that is it. So really happy with the new upgraded formula. I don't know how new it is, but it is definitely new to me this month, and I'm a big fan. Next is an oldie but goodie. I was on FaceTime with my friend Alana like 5 times this week. She had a wedding to go to. She was a wedding guest, and she was doing her own makeup and wanted me to kind of walk her through like what I would consider my stereotypical wedding guest makeup. We FaceTimed a couple times and we did it together. And then there was one time where she just did it and I was just watching and helping her through it. And one of the times I was doing it, I picked a foundation that was way too heavy and way too matte for me. Today I'm wearing the MVP from Beauty For Real. It is my favorite. It is a medium buildable coverage tinted moisturizer, and that's what I wear 99% of the time. I decided, hey, I have that same full coverage foundation in my collection. I'm going to use it with you. My skin felt so heavy and it looked super flat. The way I fixed it was the Prism Libre palette from Givenchy. Mine is in the shade, I think it's in the shade Rose. Yes, Rose. And it is a 4-color powder that mixes together. This brings anything back to life. It has a radiant finish. Because it has that pinky undertone, you'll know I have very pink tones to my skin. You could use my foundation to paint the walls in a little girl's bedroom and it would not look weird. I love that pinky undertone in a powder, and it has such a luminous finish to it too, that it just adds this ethereal glow with a little bit of shimmer that the skin still looks like skin. And anytime I have a matte foundation that just feels super heavy, that is my solution to bring my skin back to life. As you know, I have not been a huge fan of cream blushes for a very long time. I recently played around with and have become infatuated with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blush in Rosé and Brunch. It is clearly already seen some love. I feel like I'm using this every single day. I have an appreciation for cream blushes, but this one has a powder finish. So if I've already powdered my face, I can still use it. If I feel like, I'm done with my face, my skin looks good, but I want a little bit more blush, it layers so well that just taking a tiny bit more on my finger and just patting it over my skin, it doesn't like pick up anything underneath. It's not going to mess up what's under already. It's not going to, lift the foundation. Like it just adds such a beautiful glow. It's one of those things where I'm still a crazy person, so I'm still going to then take a sponge and press it in, but you don't have to. Like, it looks stunning on its own. Now it's uneven and I need to kind of blend it in. But you get the point. It just adds such an ethereal glow of powder and this, like, stunning color. I also love that her marketing campaign for these blushes showed every single color on 6 very different complexions. So you got to see all combinations from super fair skin to super deep skin. And like, I would be considered light. I'm not fair. It's usually like fair, light, medium, tan, dark, deep, or deep dark. I've seen it both ways, and I'm usually the second one. I'm light. I saw a bunch of different colors, and this is the one that like was really assigned more for fairer tones, but even on the deepest complexion, it was a stunning color. And just look how it had buoyancy to the cheeks. It just like, it's such a stunning product. The next product, I have been rediscovering the Hot Cherry Lip Gloss from Fenty Beauty. This is the Fenty Beauty Heat Lip Gloss, which is lightly plumping. Even though it looks like it's a very like bold red shade, I'm wearing it today just over a nude lip and it adds such a beautiful plump. I was wearing a different lip gloss before and I switched to this because I wanted something a little warmer, and it just like turns what would normally be like a mauvey lip into more of like a nudie lip. I don't know how to explain it, but it just layers so beautifully over my other products. And the last product I want to talk about today is the Drunk Elephant Bouncy Bright Facial. It is a mask from Drunk Elephant that is actually gentle enough to use every night. It is 10% azelaic acid, a 1% salicylic acid. It is going to lighten, brighten, tighten like all vitamin C does, lighten up any dullness in the skin, brighten up that sallowness that comes from, dead skin on the surface, and tighten. It's going to have those anti-aging benefits to it. But with this type of a product, because of the azelaic acid, it's helping to smooth and refine pores. And I feel like I am happy with how my skin looks. Lately, I've been swapping around my routine, changing products here and there. This is one of the few products that I've rotated in the past month that I've really started to see a difference with. It was this and the Herbivore Eye Cream. Like those two products, I think have been the biggest like game changer products for me in a while. They just like I try so many things and some of them are good and some of them are great. Those are two that like I can see in my rotation for years and years to come. I will try to link all the products down below in the Shop My Shelf link in my description box, so you should have access to them there. But like major call outs, the Bloom Effects, again, 25% off with code Brett. The azelaic acid bright facial, so fantastic. And if I had to like game changer product, the Givenchy powder is so worth the price. It will change your life. Everything will be linked down below. Thank you again. As always, let me know your favorites down below. I would love to use that as like, what do I have to get my hands on and try this month? And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.